I think people misunderstand minimalism quite a lot because apparently I never buy anything for myself, I never go out, and I throw away good stuff. Let's talk about the things that people judge me for being a minimalist. My name is Nina and I welcome you here on Sentimental. Number 1, people think that I never buy anything for myself, and that comes from never talking about it in conversation, never showing them that I bought something new. I wear my outfits on repeat because that's just what I like. So naturally, people think that is not something I do, and somehow I never buy anything for myself. And I have to tell you, it's not true. I have things that I buy, it just follows a different system. Everything goes on a wishing list, and then I will decide, does this item that I want to get have enough value or brings it enough purpose, for example, working towards a goal? And does it tick all the value boxes that I have? So overall, I buy fewer things. Number 2, we're talking about never joining plans. This is something that every individual has a different kind of approach, how their life philosophy is. But for me, I truly love to not spend that much money on things. Going out and having fun, ordering food here and there is something that I definitely do, but I don't want to have it on a regular basis. I don't find that much joy in it. I'd rather buy a book and read that book and learn something new out of it than going 3 times a week to go for a coffee. And that's kind of where I find my value and purpose and interests in. And maybe for the average person, it looks like that I'm never joining plans, or it's almost like I'm boring. This can happen, but it's not entirely true. I'm selective how I spend my time, and this is something that we all do to some extent. As a minimalist, you're maybe even more crucial with that rule and rather skip something. Moving on, we're talking about throwing away good stuff. When you're starting your journey to become a minimalist, decluttering is something that you do a lot. When you're moving on in that journey, decluttering isn't something that you do that much anymore, but you still do. But while that process goes on in the cycle, you will throw away things that are in perfectly good condition. And some people think, yeah, I'm not thinking about the environment, or it's just someone else's waste, it's just not in my home anymore. That's not truly how I would like to think about it. I want to be cautious. If something is truly in perfectly good condition, I want to give it a second life. Maybe sell it, donate it, or give it away to charity. If it's not working out like that, maybe broken or has holes or just somehow not usable, I recycle it or dump it in the appropriate way. So it just feels lighter to not hold on to the just in case item, and the money is already spent in these items. You can't really get that out anymore. Number 4, people judge me for making them feel guilty of not having the same lifestyle, pressuring them to declutter and have the same life as I do. This is not entirely true. Some people make minimalism their whole personality, and that isn't something that I would like to put myself into that stereotypical box, but it does happen. However, the way I would like to approach it with my environment, family, and the persons I'm very close with is if they initiate the conversation or just ask me questions or maybe even little guidelines and tips, I'm more than willing to share, and they can always watch my videos if they're truly interested. So this is the approach that I use. I don't think that everyone has to live the same way as I do. And that's also a reminder for yourself. Pick out in every video that I have what suits you, implement that. Even though I think working towards a simplified lifestyle has improved everyone's life, but work towards the goal that you're having. Additionally, I want to add on that even I feel sometimes a pressure and guilt when it comes to minimalism and how I practice it. I also watch videos to improve, maybe find different style, but there I can roll as well into a pressure of minimalism has to look a certain way. That's when I learned taking a step back sometimes and working out what suits you and build that path towards it is sometimes very healthy, and the same goes for people that aren't a minimalist. All right, so let's move on to our last point, number 5, that I don't own any sentimental items. Hear me out. Sentimental items are so personal, and every individual has different backgrounds and interests and how they make memory and how they want to hold on to it. For me, I have a small photo album, a box where I keep some memories and sentimental items, but the other parts I would like to have them close with me in my everyday life. That could be a jewelry box, a vase that I'm having. I would like to have these things displayed because they mean so much, and I don't want to have them in a box or in the attic where it just takes dust and space. Keeping just a few sentimental items is a perfectly sweet spot for me, but because they don't really see it in my interior, or it will be not that obvious, but that's because we're all individual. For some people, the sentimental items look a certain way, and that doesn't mean it has to be copied to everyone. These are a few things that people judge me for. I would love to know, what are people judging you for working towards a simplified lifestyle? I hope you're having a great time, and I thank you so much for joining today's conversation. If you're new here on my channel, I share a simplified lifestyle. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so to be updated. See us next week. Bye!